नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। कृष्ण चैतन्य हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, चिंताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Let us chant together. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashta prayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Studying from Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 14, entitled as The Story of King Vena, text number 44. Kaka Krishno Atihiva Atihrasvango Harsva Bahur Mahahanu Hishva Pana Nimna Nasargo Raktasas Tamra Murdhajaha. Kaka Krishno Atihrasvango Harsva Bahur Mahahanu Rasva Pana Nimna Nasargo Raktasastamra Murdhajaha. Kaka Krishno Atirashvango Harshva Bahur Mahahanu Aswapana Nimna Nasargo Raktasastamra Murdhaja. Kaka Krishno Atirashvango Ashwa Bahur Mahahanu Ashwa Pani Nimna Nasargo Raktasastamra Murdaja. Kaka Krishno. Ki Jai. This person born from King Vena's thighs was named Bahuka, and his complexion was as black as crows. All the limbs of his body were very short. His arms and legs were short, and his jaws were large. His nose was flat, his eyes were reddish, and his hair copper colored. Next sloka. Tam tu te avantam dinam kim kromiti vadinam nisideti abruvam stata sa nisadastato abhavat. He was very submissive and meek, and immediately after his birth he bowed down and inquired, Sirs, what shall I do? The great sages replied, Please sit down, Nisada. Thus Nisada, the father of Nisada's race, was born. It is said in the Shastras that the head of the body represents the Brahmanas, the arms represent the Kshatriyas, the abdomen represents the Vaisyas, and the legs, beginning with the thighs, represent the Sudras. The Sudras are sometimes called black or Krishna. The Brahmanas are called Sukla or white, and Kshatriyas and Vaisyas are mixed of black and white. However, those who are extraordinarily white are said to have skin produced out of white leprosy. It may be concluded that white or golden hue is the color of the higher caste, and black is the complexion of the Sudras. Tasya vansyastu naisada गिरिकाननगोचरा येनाहर jayamano vena kalmasam ulmanam. After his Nisada's birth, he immediately took charge of all the resultant actions of King Vena's sinful activities. As such, this Nisada class are always engaged in sinful activities like stealing, plundering, and hunting. Consequently, they are only allowed to live in the hills and forests. Purport. The Nisadas are not allowed to live in cities and towns because they are sinful by nature. As such, their bodies are very ugly and their occupations are also sinful. We should, however, know that even these sinful men, who are sometimes called Kiratas, can be delivered from their sinful condition to the topmost Vaishnava platform by the mercy of pure devotee. Engagement in the transcendental loving devotional service of the Lord can make anyone, however sinful he may be, fit to return home back to Godhead. One has only to become free from all contaminations by process of devotional service. In this way, everyone can become fit to return home back to Godhead. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 9.32. Mami partha vapasritya ye apisyu papayonayah striyo vaisyas tata sudras te apiyanti param gati. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter of me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaisyas, merchants as well as Sudras, can approach the supreme destination. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pungum langhayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So here Anga Maharaj, he became hopeless and he didn't know what to do. One night he was just walking in his palace left and right. Middle of night, he completely surrendered to the Lord and decided that he will take complete shelter of the Lord and he will quit because he didn't know what to do. So he thought that let me now resign from my all material duties and focus completely upon my spiritual duties. At least I will do good for myself. And rest of things anyway is not in my hand. Let it be taken care by the Lord Himself. So complete surrender he felt and he renounced and he went to the forest. And then later on, as we know the story, that as soon as Vena took the charge, initially things went on all right. All the thieves, they all went and disappeared because King Vena was very envious. So he was very cruel. He was not think twice to give any judgment, punishment. So they all hid himself. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Patit Pavanch Prabhupada ki jai. So they all, because they knew if you do something wrong, this person, he will do something very terrible. So they all hid himself. So initially the kingdom become peaceful from these thieves and rogues. But what happened, that King Vena himself was very cruel, and he started creating atrocities. So in this past times we see that uh, uh, the Brahmanas who instituted King Vena as the king, they started regretting. Initially, they thought that anyway nobody is there, let King Vena should be there. Hmm? And he will continue if something goes wrong. That time we will see. That was their idea. Hmm? But later they regretting, oh, we have done mistake. What mistake they have done? They're saying that we have put unqualified person on the throne in a position. So instead of now good happenings to the people, now people are actually being tortured by this person himself. They are put into difficulties by the person who is supposed to protect is now become the threat. The person who is supposed to maintain is actually is not taking care. So all the Brahmanas, they felt they have done mistake. They would have not instituted wrong person in that position. So these Brahmanas, they noticed this, that we did mistake. They were doing trial and error. Okay, let us put him. But we should note this, that because they put wrong person in the place, they have to regret later. And then since they were also have the capacity to correct it, they were very wise. So somehow they later managed, but it was, they were put into difficult situation. The Brahmanas were put into, everybody was put into difficult situation. King Anga Maharaj himself, he would have made Vena as a king, but he did not do that. He knew that he is not qualified, and he was very perplexed what to do. And in that perplexity, he left. But the Brahmanas, they went ahead and instituted Vena as a king. And he started creating atrocities to the extent that he stopped the sacrifices and making people to worship him. So all sort of their spiritual life also were put into danger. Material life as well as spiritual life, everything were put into danger. And these Brahmanas, they are regretting, oh, we did wrong. Then they very respectfully spoke to Vena. And but Vena, he was not very cultured and very cruel and very puffed up. So he did not respond to them like that properly. And then they took this opportunity to put him down. And he was killed by their curse. So we see after that, after he is killed, then the one problem is solved. They created one problem, and that problem is solved by killing him. But then the original problem remains same. Now who is going to rule? Then we see that Vena's mother preserved the body of Vena, and then Brahmanas were pondering what to do. Then they also were thinking that Vena's body is carrying the semen of Dhruva Maharaj. In such a dynasty is coming. So we can we can invoke the presence of a great personalities by the churning. They had this science. This is we see how rich in science was there earlier. Just by the dead body, they were able to bring out the progeny. They were all very subtle through mantras. They are all governing the whole thing through the mantras. They first churned the feet, and from the feet they brought out all the dirty things, dirty elements. It's like we churn, no? Then all churning, all the first removed all dirty particles, and then later remove the nectar. Filter out everything and then good portion take. So like that they churned the feet, the thighs, and from this thighs, because Vena was very sinful, a person came out. This described what was his complexion, what was his figure. So it was kind of a tribal class of person who's called Nishada. So he described he was very short, very black, and then nose was flat, and then eyes was red, and then hair was copper color, and hands and legs were small, short, but jaws was big. So that was his complexion. People will see, then they get afraid. And this person took the charge of all the sinful reactions of Vena, and he developed the natural affinity to do all hunting and sinful activities, and then he was sent to live in the forest, in hills. So you see that Prabhupada is also writing, even such class of people, they can be turned into highest class, highest cadre of Vaishnavas. There is a sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam also, where it says that whoever takes shelter of the lotus feet of a person who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he may be from the lowest class, Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulka, Pulindisa. They are like, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. So they are in Varnashram system, and below them there are Chandalas, dog eaters, and like that. All these categories they are not civilized. They don't have any spiritual purpose in their life. Just living like animals, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is what is their ultimate goal in their life. No other goal. So even such people who their subtle body and gross body is built like this, that they cannot think about but to pursue spiritual life, can be brought to the highest level. How? By previous karma only is put into this body, in this situation, that he is not able to even utter the holy name. He is not even able to utter the holy name. We have a classical example of Valmiki. Valmiki, he was a hunter, and he was asked to chant Rama, and he was not able to chant Rama. He was not able to chant Rama. Then Narada Muni told him, "Oh, don't worry. You're not able to chant Rama, but you have killed so many people, no? So many people who have killed Mara. In Hindi or Sanskrit, Mara. So you say, Mara, 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 Mara. Maram, Mara, 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 Mara. So 2 times, 3 times you chant Mara, then it becomes Rama. Rama, 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 Rama. So, you see, Valmiki, he was purified. How he was purified? Yeah, because he took shelter of the lotus feet of the devotee who has taken complete shelter of the lotus feet of Acyuta, Lord Acyuta. So he was purified. This is classical example. Why to go so far? We see in Prabhupada's pastimes that how many people Prabhupada purified. Chinese, hippies, then Negroes. No, Prabhupada is telling, is not mentioning about himself, but in Prabhupada's pastime we see that he went to South Africa, and uh, Prabhupada is giving Bhagavatam class. In the Bhagavatam class, all these Africans are sitting, black complexion, this thing, like as mentioned here, just that they are little taller. So Prabhupada is finding one person has put his dhoti, another person has put his kurta. When Prabhupada is telling, oh, this is mine, that is mine. So they actually not even able to have this understanding that Prabhupada's thing they should not use. Whatever they got somewhere, they used it. And they are sitting in front of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, even to those people, just by taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, they are all purified. They all started developing taste for holy name, taste for devotional service, and become so attached to it. So that is the secret, taking shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee of the Lord. So this is the proof. Prabhupada is telling that engagement in transcendental loving devotional service of the Lord can make anyone, however sinful he may be, fit to return home back to Godhead. One has only to become free from all contaminations by the process of devotional service. In this way, even everyone can become fit to return home back to Godhead. This is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita. माम ही पार्थ व्यपाश्चित्य ये अपि स्यु पाप योनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास तथा शूद्रास्ते अपि यान्ति पराम गतिम. Ocean of Pritha, those who take shelter of me, though they be lower birth, women, Vaisyas as well as Sudras, can approach the supreme destination. So, Lord Nityananda is distributing the holy name in the marketplace of the holy name called Namahata. When he is distributing holy name, one has to pay some artha, price. What price is taking? Is taking the price. The person coming with faith, some faith. You have some faith, you chant the holy name. Like this he is distributing. So when we are chanting with the faith, eagerness, yad mulyam tad laululyam, with eagerness, then actually the purification happens. So we see that hippies, Prabhupada was preaching to them. So Prabhupada was talking about Krishna. Then one of them said, Swamiji, we do not know who is Krishna. We know you. So because they are coming from the Christian background and Western culture, so they have never heard Krishna and Rama. For them it is like some kind of a mystical thing. So they openly say, we don't know Krishna, but we know you. India also people know about Krishna, Rama, but on back in subtle consciousness, Mayavada things are there, impersonal things are there. But for them, they didn't know about Krishna and Rama, and they openly said, "We don't know, but we know you." So they know that Prabhupada is such a pure person that he uh, never tell he'll never tell wrong things, and he wants good for us. He is always wishing good for us. Your ever well wisher. Prabhupada will also write, your ever well wisher. So they were completely convinced about this. And so Prabhupada asked them to, whatever he was telling, they believing it. And Prabhupada asked them to chant, they were chanting. And they wanted to really improve. From their material situation. They wanted to advance spiritually. Because they felt they were suffering. They were feeling they were suffering, taking all kinds of nonsense, and they were seeking spiritual as enlightenment. So that eagerness was there, and Prabhupada's presence, there were faith. So this faith and eagerness, they were chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And we see the purification was happening. They were really transformed, and so much so that everybody was amazed. When Prabhupada brought his disciples in Surat, everybody was like, they were completely surprised. From where these people are coming? They are looking like coming from the heaven. Very tall, white, shining. They were all like literally falling to their feet. And wherever, from whichever street they went, all they just climbed up. People, their residents climbed up on the window or on the terrace, and they collected lots of flower, and they started showering the flower. The full street was like filling with the flowers. They are throwing the flowers on the devotees. They are performing kirtan. They were so much surprised to see. They were thinking that how this change is possible. Even we are not able to come out of our drinking of tea and coffee, and so far these people have gone. They are completely surrendered themselves, and they are taken shelter of the holy name. So they are so much surprised how this transformation took place, and it didn't take much time also, just hardly few years. In Prabhupada association, instantly people were transformed. So that is the power of association. Kanta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Pansla